Thank you for joining us on the trending burning question. The Congress party has released its manifesto today, what it calls Nyay Patra. They're calling it Nyay Patra with 25 promises, 25 guarantees. 25 guarantees, the guarantee model that they started in Karnataka, tried to replicate in other states, did not work in this election except for in Telangana, didn't work in Rajasthan or Chhattisgarh or Madhya Pradesh. But they're taking it national. Will it work? Are some of the promises made unrealistic? That's the question. Here's the story of what's in it.
The Indian National Congress released its manifesto Nyay Patra for the upcoming Lok Sabha elections 2024. Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge and former President Rahul Gandhi released the manifesto at All India Congress Committee headquarters in New Delhi. With the manifesto out, the Congress seemingly continues to rehash the same old rhetoric. The party's manifesto includes promises like investigating Rafale deal, giving legal guarantees to MSP, replacing GST laws, among others. The BJP has slammed the party for what it called a copy-paste of the 2019 manifesto. Soon after, in a scathing critique, BJP tore into the grand old party's manifesto.
तो ये भ्रम का, झूठों का पुलिंदा और दूसरी तरफ भरोसे की गारंटी। तो मोदी की गारंटी जो भरोसे की गारंटी है और भ्रम का पुलिंदा जो उनके बयान से लेके और फोटो तक दिखाई पड़ रहा है।
Congress should release a Nyay Patra, a white paper on Anyay done by the Congress on the issues of national security, where they should explain why did Congress give away 38,000 square kilometers to China? Why did Congress callously give away the islands of Kachathevu?
They know fully well that Rafale deal there was a corruption when they were in the government. BJP has corrected that corruption and BJP has taken full advantage. BJP is open to everything. And they are free to go to Supreme Court. Why necessary this politics?
It's a matter of shame for the part of Congress, and the people have to now decide which way the Congress is going. Definitely Congress manifesto reveals their character also.
BJP also lambasted the seriousness of the manifesto, highlighting the use of photos purportedly from New York and Thailand.
आपने कांग्रेस के मैनिफेस्टो में देखा होगा ये वाटर मैनेजमेंट के ऊपर ये फोटो है। देखिए इसको जाके आप चेक कर लीजिएगा। ये न्यूयॉर्क की बफेलो लिवर की है। मुझे लगता है कि अभी तक उनकी सोशल मीडिया चेयरपर्सन के अकाउंट से किसने ट्वीट कर दिया था तो पता नहीं लगा पाए, पर उससे बड़ा यक्ष प्रश्न हो गया है ये फोटो कौन भेज रहा है विदेश से।
With the Lok Sabha polls right around the corner, is the Congress batting for personal loss? That is the trending burning question.
Joining us on the debate this evening are Gopal Krishna Agarwal, spokesperson of the BJP, George Kurian, political analyst, and advocate Gyanendra Mishra, political analyst who leans towards the Congress party. Now let me start by asking George Kurian. George Kurian, there is this promise, I saw this promise of 1 lakh rupees, right, for poor women. 1 lakh rupees for every poor family. The woman in the family gets 1 lakh rupees a year. Now I just want to tell you, the minimum amount of money then you will have to hand out to women across India will be minimum, going by the government's figures, the number of women in number of families below poverty line are about 30 lakh. 30 lakh families below poverty line, and for 1 lakh for each of these women in these families, that would be 3 lakh crore. And there is a lot more. I'll start with this. 3 lakh crore. India's total budget allocation is 45 lakh crore, 45 to 47 lakh crore. You know, my fear is if you start giving out these handouts, and you've also spoken about money to unemployed youth, etc., is it economically viable? I don't think so. I don't think it's possible because we've seen the rollout of it in Karnataka. They're struggling with it. There is no money for anything else.
Good evening, Shravan, to my co-panelist on the debate and to your audience. Let me begin by saying I'm really very happy, and India is fortunate that the Congress party has today released its Nyay Patra, and Haath Badlega Halat. In the coming days, we are confident the India bloc together are going to come in a winning streak in 2024, come June 4th. Coming back to your question, Shravan, be rest assured, and for the benefit of your audience, let me put it, there is a calculation that the Congress party has done with respect to all the social schemes or the tax benefits or the benefits that we have given. We have mainly five guarantees, which is subdivided into 25 guarantees. So the Congress party is serious about all the assurities and guarantees it has made through its manifesto. First and foremost, the low-hanging fruit, which is we are going to fill up the vacancies in the central government, about 30 lakh jobs. That will be the first thing that the Congress party would, when it comes down to power, it will do. Secondly, we're going to have more women participation in the labor force. We are going to stimulate the demand part of it, because we believe when we stimulate demand side, it will create more private investments in the country, and which will in turn create jobs. We have also looked at the youth. So in terms of youth, giving the apprenticeship to all graduates, which will again give them a stipend of 1 lakh rupees per year, per annum. Then again, with respect to women, and because see, Shravan, we have to understand why the Congress party is forced to, to make this kind of social schemes and give this kind of a relief to the people of India at large, is because post 2014, the kind of inflation that we see in the country, the growing unemployment in this country, the Modi government has not been able to, counter on these aspects on this front. That's the main reason why the Congress party has today. And don't be rest assured that the finances part of it, the Congress party is confident it will be able to get through all of these smoothly. And the Congress party is also committed with all the guarantees that it has made in this Nyay Patra.
Mr. Gopal Krishna Agarwal, is it economically viable? Why is your party calling it also a copy-paste of 2019?
See, we have to understand that this manifesto can be analyzed in two ways. One thing is that the Congress with this manifesto, it's all a false promise. They have no intention of fulfilling any of these promises, because they don't have the roadmap. They don't have given the proper analysis where they will cut the budget, which are the places, which are the segment or which are the sections of the society whose money, whose support system they will cut to pass this on and fulfill this promise. This is one way of analyzing it. Either it is a false promise. Second thing is, with this manifesto, I must tell you that they have conceded their defeat. That is, they understand now that they are not going to win this election 2024. They can promise the moon. They have nothing to put on the ground. This is the only two analysis that I have from this manifesto. That either it is completely false, there is no roadmap, there are cut to certain segments of the society which will be transferred to this. Either it's this or they've conceded defeat. Otherwise, I'll just give you one example. I was in the Rajasthan elections this time in Udaipur, and there one of my press conference, somebody called from the media that under the Prime Minister Modi ji's schemes of Ayushman Bharat, there is a 5 lakh rupees insurance scheme given to the public. But the Congress in Rajasthan had announced in last election, before this year's election in 23, that they will give health insurance of 25 lakh rupees per card, and they will increase it to 50 lakh. So when we analyze the data, I will tell you that in last 5 years, only 12 people got benefited out of that scheme. And in Rajasthan alone, under the Ayushman Bharat from the center, more than 1 crore people will be benefited. So the guarantee means, what do you deliver? What you intend to deliver? How do you want to deliver? Unless that is there, and we have the track record of Prime Minister Modi ji's 10 years Modi ki guarantee versus 60 years of false promises. The way the country was looted one after another, the way welfare schemes were manipulated to fit the leakages to fulfill the coffers of their own people in the party of Congress. So that is the difference. 60 years versus 10 years of guarantee, Congress false promises, no roadmap, nothing to fulfill the promises, track record of the way they have announced the schemes, not implemented. You just now told about Karnataka. They had promised 6 guarantees. And when it came to fulfilling them after the state election, they diverted the development fund from the DK Shivkumar himself, the deputy CM said that I have to divert the fund from the developmental agenda to fulfill some of the promises. Still, they have not done. They promised in Madhya Pradesh that in 100 days we will waive off the farmers' loan. They did not do it. So people lost faith in Madhya Pradesh in the last election, in the election before this, last election before. So this is the there. Modi guarantee means it will be delivered. There are challenges, there are difficulties, there are roadmaps, there is a promise to deliver, there is a vision to deliver, and we are doing a wealth creation also. If you want to do a welfare policy for the people, you have to create wealth. They are abusing the wealth creator, and they want to, from where will they will get the money to fulfill these promises. So wealth creator have to be respected. They have to be provided an ecosystem of good economic growth. They have to be provided with the ecosystem through which direct benefit transfer, you will transfer to the targeted person without leakages. And so this is the way the things are done. And therefore, Modi guarantee versus false manifesto promises.
Yeah, I want to go across to Advocate Gyanendra Mishra. Gyanendra Mishra ji, actually I may have got my maths wrong because the number of women living in poverty in India, according to some reports, is 45 million. 45 million is 4.5 crore. Okay, I got my math wrong. I thought it was 30 lakh families, but it's 4.5 crore women. 4.5 crore women into 1 lakh would be 45 lakh crore. 45 lakh crore. That is the total allocation of India's budget. Okay, that's point number one. Point number two, I mean, that is all India's budget. That's India's budget. 45 to 47 lakh crore. So are you saying that you're going to take all of India's money and hand it to women? Point number one. Point number two. Point number two is caste census has been rejected in Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh. People didn't vote for it. People didn't vote for the guarantees in these states. Okay. Telangana, it may be a mix of both your guarantees, the promises made, and also anti-incumbency. Now, you want caste census, you want to raise the quota bar, and you also want, very shockingly, I saw that there is a pitch to also have some quota in Supreme Court and High Courts. I mean, do you think it's going a bit too far now on this reservation, quota, caste census subject?
No, thank you for having me on your show. And I believe that, the BJP spokesperson, I don't know whether it's a spokesperson or not, with the contempt that he is speaking about the Congress manifesto is very understandable because it is the same party.
I am a spokesperson.
Sorry, sir. That's why I said I'm not very
He's
sure.
He's a BJP spokesperson, sir.
With the contempt that it's a very understandable because it is the same party which makes the promises of bringing the entire black money to the country and allocating 15 lakhs to each family's bank account. It is the same party which promised the 2 crore employment per year. And then when asked to, stand on that promises, said that is where the jumlas, and it is very okay to speak the jumlas during the elections. So it is very understandable that they have such a contempt for the manifesto of a political Congress party. Sorry, Congress party, not political, Congress party. In my view, when you comprehensively look at this manifesto, it is a very comprehensive and forward-looking manifesto which addresses the concerns and aspiration of every section of Indian society, be it women, be it youth, be it farmers, be it poor. And when the way you look at it, talks about it in a very definitive terms, the women empowerment. The Mahalakshmi Yojana is the one part of it. The economics is the one part of it, that how it will be done, and what are the challenges in implementing that. But talking about the 50% women reservation in the job, talking about implementing immediately the women reservation bill in the elected body, which was in betrayal by the BJP, in my view, when there was no practical aspirations was set on there, and the Congress is very clear that if they come to the power, the reservation will be implemented immediately. And there are many other promises which are achievable if you have the sincerity of commitment and the purposeness for implementing it. Now, talking about your very specific questions on the economics of this Mahalakshmi Yojana. See, sitting here, we cannot do obviously the plain mathematics makes it that it is a huge financial commitment. But please also be mindful that this kind of financial empowerment also leads to economic development, in the sense of increasing the buying capacity of the poorest of the poor, which then also stimulates the local economics, local economics, and which leads to then growth. So we'll have to make a balance out of it. That is not plain expenditure, but it's also the part of empowerment in terms of stimulating the local economy by empowering the poorest of the poor family. That's the point. Now the caste census, to your second point. So obviously the Congress will have to, once they win it and once they are the power, they'll have to answer to the people about these promises and what's the economics behind it. You cannot put into the scrutiny at this moment, saying on a very preposterous ground that, this is a very preposterous ground that says they are not coming to the power, and therefore they are making these kind of promises. Second, on the caste census, I believe, that the caste census. So, when you read at the Congress manifesto, it's not plainly about.
Mr. Agarwal wants to respond to you.
Census.
Can you just okay? Quick rebuttal. 1 minute.
Budget is a pure economics.
Mr. Mishra, quick rebuttal coming in. Quick rebuttal coming in. Yeah.
Budget is a pure economics. What you receive, what you spend, that has to be given. Otherwise, budget is just a document of false promises. If you don't have, it's a clear-cut roadmap, which now looks here that these promises are not going to be fulfilled in the current scenario situation, and there is no intention to show how these will be fulfilled. So ultimately, if they want to fulfill them, they will divert the fund from other schemes to this. That's the only way. So what are the areas they will forego the benefit to that segment? They also have to be underlined here. So simply saying when 45 to 47 lakh is the annual budget, it may grow by some 5-10% in a year, but there is a fixed expenditure which already takes place in the form of administration costs, other planned expenditure, etc. There is very little amount left for certain schemes, specifically for the welfare of the people, that is already being given. So if they want to add into the welfare schemes, to add other schemes, they will divert the earlier scheme which have benefited. If you see in the last 10 years, 25 crore people have been pulled out of the poverty by our schemes. The way Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana is giving homes to the people, the way Ayushman Bharat is giving health insurance to the crores and crores of people, the way 90 crore people are getting free ration. So these funds, they will divert.
Yes, Kurian. No, it's I don't know where the money is going to come from. Just Mr. Agarwal, 1 second. Yes, what's your response? Because see, it's economically not viable. I can tell you one thing: it's not economically viable because you just take that one promise of giving 1 lakh rupee to a poor woman of a family, and if the number of poor women in India are, some estimates say 45 million, which is 4.5 crore, right? 45 million is 4.5 crore. That is the size of the Indian budget. How is it possible?
Niranjan,
Kurian.
I heard Mr. Gopalji very patiently. I didn't wanted to intervene in the flow. Let me reassure to your audience that it's not a false promises that the Congress Party has released the manifesto today. It is not promising the moon to the people and the voters at large, and it has a concrete and concrete plan in place about the finances part of it. It has taken everything into account. So be rest assured that the Congress Party is committed.
There is a concrete plan.
It's a very inclusive
Make it
manifesto
transparent.
carrying every section of the society. As my colleague here said, be the farmers, the youth, the women empowerment, every section of the society, the old, the elderly people. Congress Party has not left anybody. Rahul Gandhi had done the Bharat Jodo Nyaya Yatra, and through the Yatra, the suggestions had come through, and so the Congress Party's manifesto is a ground level manifesto concerning the people at large. So be rest assured, the Congress Party is committed, and as far as the budget is concerned, when the Congress Party comes to power in 2024, we will release the budget and we will give you all the dynamics of the finances.
We all know that
there are so many indirect, direct taxes running into lakhs of crores of rupees which comes to the government exchequer. So don't be worried about that.
There is also, I'll tell you, Kurian Mishra, Mr. Mishra and Mr. Agarwal, I've run out of time. Kurian, Mr. Mishra and Agarwal have run out of time, but I'll just tell you that, Arnab is debating this at length at 9 o'clock, going through the layers of this of this manifesto. But let me tell you, you take a look at it, and I just get a sense that, one, it may not be economically viable. Secondly, it's kind of vindictive because there is an entire page dedicated to media, and they're going after the media in that particular section. There is one section saying reversing the damage, and they're talking about the judiciary. And then there's another section where they say people who've left parties and joined the BJP and they were under investigation, we will reinvestigate them. And where were they when they got the corruption charges against them? They were all in Congress. Many of them were in Congress, right? I mean, it's a bit ironic. It's also vindictive in many ways. But let's see what the people, eventually it is the people who decide. Let's see what the people decide. Thank you for joining us on the Trending Burning Question.